Merle Haggard sang on a song that I had a hand in writing. It was pretty wild, you know. That's something I'll always treasure, to have Merle singing words that I had a hand in writing. Well, fortunately, when I grew up, I got to grow up kind of around the music business. Some of my distant family had a working, traveling bluegrass band, and I just got to be around, I guess you would say, behind the scenes of it growing up. When I was around 16 or 18 years old, it started being more than just a hobby and something I liked to do. It turned into something I really wanted to work at, to do professionally myself. Moved to Nashville in 1998, got a record deal in 2000. I always tell people that I'm so glad that I got to be around the old school guys, the artists, the songwriters, and even people that worked at the record labels. It was still kind of more like it used to be in the old school days. A little bit more modern now. It's a new time, you know. There's great things going on in the business. But I got to come along back when it was a little more old school. My approach is still pretty much the same. First of all, if you love it, it don't feel like work. You know, you just, if you're working towards something you love, you just get better at it because you really are passionate about it. You start to really know who you are as an artist and really what you want to say as a songwriter. But, you know, I'm kind of like, you know, like Paul Overstreet and some of those guys talked about. You know, you just get inspired going somewhere on a trip or you know, getting out in a cabin or being on the water or, you know, anything like that. It seems like it brings something else. And that always inspires you, you know. I love to co-write. Probably 90% of the songs that I've written through the years, I've co-written. Kerry Kirk Phillips, great songwriter, great man, wrote many big hits on the radio, first of all. But we got together one day and he had had the idea, That's Just Jessie, for a while, he said. And he ran it by some other people, and for some reason they just hadn't wrote the idea. And we started with really nothing in mind other than the title. And about 2 sessions later of writing, a couple of days getting together, we had the song, and we just knew we had a good song, but we knew it had a magic to it, you know, and that's what we always try to shoot for, but you don't always get it. The ones that's just, you know, you get done with them and you go, wow, you know, I think we got something. And it was my first hit song as a singer and a songwriter, and that's why it will always be really special to me. You know, I would tell anybody starting out to really pay attention and really listen to the greats that come before you. That's how I look at everything in music and life too. All my heroes are the great songwriters that we all, you know, we hear their name over and over, and there's a reason they're great. They've proven themselves. They don't have to tell you that, you know, you can listen to their songs and listen to their singing, you know, it speaks for itself. You know, I've always loved In the Rounds. That's some of the first stuff I started doing with Harley Allen. He, talking about heroes and influences, he was the singer-songwriter that I learned so much from. And I remember the first writer's night I did with him. I was like 20 years old, and he said, I want you to do a writer's night with me at the Bluebird. Somebody couldn't make it, and he needed me to fill in, and which I wasn't ready to do that. I was too green, you know, but he wanted to introduce that to me because he knew it would make me better. So I get there that night, and it was Harley Allen, I think it was John Wiggins and Keith Urban and me. So I'm like, Harley jokes, he said, I think you rolled your sleeves up and down about 50 times, you know. But he said, you did good. So that was, in the round, was one of my first things I did when I moved to town. And I love to get back to that because it gets back to where the songs come from. And without all the smoke and lights, it's all about the music and the songs.